Hey guys, this is Brian coming to you from our production room here in Chandler, Arizona at Cornerstone, which is the church that I have the privilege of being the worship director at. And I just wanted to take a second. We're getting ready to be here all weekend and getting ready for that, preparing for it and stuff. And I just wanted to take a second just on video to talk about why our band is called Brayline. We get a lot of people that ask us from all the different places that we go and stuff, why is your band called Brayline? And sometimes we get the opportunity to share and other times we don't. And I just wanted to make sure that we put this up so that everybody would have the chance to understand why we call our band Brayline. And it really comes back to we do a lot of camps and conferences and that kind of a thing when we're out. And so I spent 3 summers up at Forest Home Christian camps in Southern California. It was an incredible few years for me up there. But my second summer, I was working with high school students and leading worship up there. And there was a girl that came up on a Monday night of week 2, and she had come up, and camp was in full swing. We had kicked off on Sunday night, and Monday night this girl shows up, and she's bald, and it's just one of those things that catch you off guard a little bit. And turns out, as the week would go on, I would have the chance to meet Caitlin Bray. And Caitlin came up from a church in Orange County and had been dealing with cancer, was diagnosed with cancer earlier on in that year, a very aggressive cancer, and things weren't looking good for her. And yet her mom just said, kind of against the doctor's will and stuff, she said, "We got to get Caitlin up to camp." And so they brought Caitlin up, and they were just going to stay Monday night and leave on Tuesday, but she ended up being there the entire week, which was amazing. And Thursday morning, I asked if Caitlin would kind of share her story in front of camp. So we got up there and just kind of interview style. I had the chance to talk to her about what God's been doing in her life and what's been going on with her. And there I am standing with this 15-year-old girl who's been through chemotherapy, has had death in her face, and really from there we had the reason why Brayline was birthed. And as she shared, she just said, I pray every night that God would heal me from this cancer, and I don't really understand why I have cancer, but I just have to trust God that if anything's going to heal me, it's going to be Him. And so it's kind of rooted out of trust. But then she said something so profound that just caught my attention and would eventually be the thing that shaped the reason why we called the band Brayline. And she just said, but if I'm really, really honest right now, I've never felt further away from God in my entire life. And it was just this moment of honesty from Caitlin, and for me it was just kind of this true picture of worship. And there's a passage in John 4 that talks about true worshipers being worshipers in spirit and in truth, and that the time is coming, and it's now come, when we ought to be those kind of worshipers. And that verse came to my mind, and we were in the studio that summer cutting that record and still didn't have a band name, and so that name kind of came together just out of this idea that we want to be the kind of worshipers that worship in spirit and in truth. We want to be honest like Caitlin in those valleys, and we've all had those valleys, and maybe it's cancer for you, or maybe it's somebody that's dealing with cancer, or maybe it's personal struggles in your own life with addictions or things that just bog you down, and you're trying to find God in the midst of all of these things that seemingly feel like you don't have control over. And yet we have a God that we can trust. We have a God that's bigger than cancer, that's bigger than our addictions, and it's bigger than our biggest struggles. And sometimes I think it's just we need to be reminded that we have the freedom in the relationship through Jesus Christ to be honest about the things that weigh us, and to trust God with those. It's got to be rooted out of trust. So we took Caitlin's last name, Bray. Her name's Caitlin Bray. We took Bray and put it up against the word line. And line in the dictionary means a course of direction or a way of doing things. And we just kind of put those things together in the idea that we want to be honest worshipers. And wherever we go as a band, as Brayline goes out, we want to create environments where we can be honest together with where we're at in our lives. And sometimes it's at the top, and we get to just, out of the outpouring of joy, celebrate what God's doing in our lives. And sometimes it's just in our brokenness that we come to God and we just need to be honest. So really, the heartbeat is to be an honest worshiper, and so we want to encourage you with that, and hopefully her story will encourage you. And just a quick update on Caitlin. The last time that we were kind of in touch, the cancer is, I think, in remission, and which is just phenomenal. I mean, if you had known the the story all the way back, it just wasn't looking that way. And you can check out her MySpace is on our MySpace. She's in our top friends, and feel free to send her a message and encouragement, and continue to pray for Caitlin and her healing. And we'll continue to pray that we will encourage people to be honest worshipers in everything that we do. So we'll check in with you again soon, but I just wanted to make sure we got that up there for you guys. All right, talk to you later.